Duel for Cardia is a two-player competitive card game, very portable as you can see. I tried it at Gen Con 2025, I really liked it. And at Gen Con I also picked up this mat that you see here, but I need to clarify this mat is not included in the standard game. What you will find if you purchase a copy of Duel for Cardia is two pairs of identical card decks, one per player. And the back tells you that they do indeed belong to different characters, they're for players. So we can choose to play with these two identical decks. You have this one, I have this one, or these two for more variety and replay value. But you cannot mix and match, they have to be identical, and the effects are kind of like tweaked and designed to go with one another. You also have a bunch of tokens that will be used to keep track of modifiers to the values of the cards. A reminder of which permanent effects are in play. If a card has one of these, it means the permanent effect is active. And then victory tokens. The first player to collect 5 victory tokens wins the game. That is one of the ways of winning the game. You can also win the game if the other player cannot play any cards, and the deck's only 16 cards, so if you use some effects to force them to discard, it's not that impossible to do. There are also some effects that tell you you win the game, but activating the effect that says you win the game is not so easy for reasons that we will see. Also, you have location cards, and they're optional. If you decide to play with a location card, you simply flip one face up, and it's an effect that will be in play for the entire game. And it even tells you how difficult those effects are, how challenging they are. This is one that I like very much. Whenever you reveal a card that has less influence than your previous card, you discard a card from your deck. We'll see what that means. Let's say that we play with that effect. Also, let's say that we play with these decks. So we put the other ones back into the box. We shuffle, 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 shuffle. Did I already say that we shuffle? Then we get a hand of 5 cards each. Now, these cards represent different factions as indicated by the color in the background, and you have a breakdown of the factions on your valuable player aid. Another player aid also give you an overview of the round. The general idea is extremely simple. We look at the cards that we have. Okay, I'm just gonna play kind of randomly. We'll look at the cards that we have, and then both players will choose a card and will play it face down. Then we reveal them. Now each card, as you can see, has a value here which indicates the influence, and also an effect which can be permanent or can be one time and instantaneous. Now we look at the influence, and the person with the highest influence wins that round, or at least I should say takes this marker here and you put it on the card. If the players play the same card, so it's the same influence, or because of other modifiers the influence is the same, then it's a tie, and what we like to do, we put that right there in the middle as a reminder that if something were to change, more modifiers were to play, that may go to one or the other. But right now, 9 gets the token. So one player usually will get a token, but the other player, the loser, gets to activate the special ability. That is a consolation prize. And so sometimes you really want to lose that, the confrontation, so you can activate the effect. Here, choose a faction. Your opponent may discard one card of the chosen faction from their hand. If they do not, you add +7 influence to this card. Suppose that I tell the name of a faction and they decide to discard it, so that's okay. So then, that's the end for that round. Everybody will draw a new card into their hand, and everybody plays another card, then we reveal and we see what happens there. Okay, so 4 versus 1. 4 versus 1, I'm gonna win that. And And then here it says discard both this card and the opposing card. Oh, surprise. No, that didn't happen because that lost and therefore we activated that effect. Draw a card. Play another card. See, great strategy here. Ah, it's a tie. Boom. Let's play again. One more round. Alright, the Swamp Guardian wins, so we ignore the effect. And the Clockmaker says we had +3 influence to our card in the previous encounter, as well as to the next one. That's a Clockmaker, that's pretty good. So we had +3 influence to the previous encounter, which means that it's not a tie anymore, because now we have 9 to 6, and to the next one, and so we're gonna place that one there as a reminder that the next card gets a +3. And that's the idea. You will keep playing like this, one card per player at the time, committing simultaneously, revealing simultaneously, giving the victory token to the highest value, and then applying the effect of the lower value card. And you continue like this, with modifiers going around, effects bouncing back and forth until a player has collected 5 tokens, or a player cannot discard, in which case they lose the game, or you're able to play a card and activate the effect that lets you win the game. 16 is the highest value, so the only way this is ever going to lose if you planned ahead and you placed a negative modifier there, and my opponent plays a high card. My opponent's played a really high card. They don't even have one anymore. Oh, there you go. That would be interesting. We reveal that card. And now that card loses because it's 19 versus 13. I lose, and so I activate the effect of winning the game. 5 tokens, or of winning the game, or forcing the opponent not to be able to play cards. These things will win you the game. Adventures for Cardia is a really good game, and it's particularly impressive for a game that is this portable, and it really only uses 16 cards twice, so you basically have 2 games based on the same game engine, but with really different intersections of different game effects. And those are really what makes the game fun and interesting. It's also very portable. If you don't have to drag the mat around. The effects is where it's at, because of course you're gonna start into the meta gaming, and there's really fun in the fact that you use identical decks. Maybe you like to customize and optimize and min-max in yours, but the point is to know exactly what the opponent has, and knowing, because you have the same cards, you even have a constant reminder of about a third of the deck of the opponent, and so you can tell, well, the opponent hasn't played that card yet, it's still in their deck, could they go for that one or that other one? What are they trying to pull off as they're trying to synergize things? And the simple dilemma that the better the card from the point of view of the influence, the harder it is to use their effect. Also, the better the effect is, including you win the game. But you have to work to lose with those cards, and so there are some effects that will give you the ability to put a negative on your next card, and so maybe you want to do that. So you play a 16, and now it's only a 13, and you win. But the opponent sees you put in the negative there, and they think maybe I do wanna lose that one. That's the right time to use a nice ability. But maybe you were bluffing, and that's not the card you were preparing to play. A lot of that. What is also good is that the cards form a line that stays in play. It reminded me a little bit of a game that, darn, I don't remember the name. It was a trick-taking game where you were time-traveling scientist, and the previous tricks stay there, and you can travel back in time and mess up the previous tricks. But that could be kind of complicated at times. So this one has the same idea of time-traveling game effects in a much leaner, much simple, very intuitive way, because now I can win a tie. Now I can I can put all of my tokens that are negative from one card to be good, onto one that is losing anyways, and so now I'm winning because those negative tokens are not there. Then I use other things to win a tie, lose a tie, break a tie, add tokens, remove things. Lot of fun stuff. So I'm not gonna go too deep into the details of what the individual effects are. I can tell you that I was pretty impressed by the way the effects influenced each other and created really nice, interesting networks that you're trying to exploit, while also at the same time you're trying to prevent the opponent from doing exactly the same. The first couple of games that we played, I think they were pretty quick, like 3-4 cards, somebody won, and my opponent and I, as we were playing more, of course, then became more familiar with the game effects. Now it took a little longer. Maybe instead of 5 minutes, it was 10 or 15, and we often would have a really nice long spread because at this point we are more balanced, and so lack of the draw, once the players know the effects, has almost no impact whatsoever. Duel for Cardia. This is small, portable, simple rules, fun strategy to discover as you play. I'm pretty impressed with this game.